Obviously, you guys yourselves are still relatively new, but is there any kind of sort of small success stories that you can share that have occurred so far?
Well, the first time I performed live and in front of people, in front of a crowd, showing them my music and what I'm about, sort of thing, was BBC Introducing. Basically, I got in touch with Andrew Marston, and I showed him a few of the tracks with Jared Bryant, a good friend of mine. And Jared Bryant, I think actually, if I remember correctly, Jared actually sent Andrew Marston one or two of these tracks that I actually did with Jared. Next thing you know, Andrew Marston's calling me and he's contacting me and he's, you know, I really like this music. This is different. This is certainly different. Would you like to do a live lounge about a live performance, playing 5 tracks? I was sort of like, oh, okay. I don't really want to be playing live any of these lyrics that I've written out of the blue. I would rather, you know, get an actual band together. If we're going to be performing live, I would like to get a band together and you know, make these instrumentals with live instruments, a drummer, guitarist, etc., etc. Oh, also we need a talented, you know, vocalist to actually make it sound even more interesting for the crowd. So we got this band together, and in a matter of 2 months, it was, something like that. In a matter of 8 weeks, I wrote, between us, there was 5 new tracks written, and we performed those 5 tracks, and I was interviewed after, and I explained what I've just said. Basically, you know, for 8 weeks, we pretty much put this band together and writ these 5 tracks, and straight away the BBC's reply was incredibly talented, and the crowd had, because they went around the crowd and asked questions to them, and what do you think of this group that was on stage, and they all said, you know, the energy was incredible, and the lyrics was, it made you think. And then BBC basically said that we're the next to blow in the urban scene. So that's my first really successful story in the experience of the music industry. I'm sure very soon I'll have much, much, much more to share with the world, you know?
Yeah, it's just a precursor maybe for things to come.
Yeah.
It's a good motivation as well, I imagine.
Well, that was it. That was the start of the true motivation, the Kickstarter of, right, okay, I was born for this. I really do want to do this, you know? That was just a gentle reminder of the feedback that I had. It was the first time I had that kind of feedback from professionals in this industry. So it just, rather than just friends and family saying, wow, that was incredible, you know, and actually professionals saying it, it was more of a confirmation that let's do this, you know, let's get this done, you know.
Yeah, going down the right path.
That's it.
So what was it that made you kind of realise that this, because you've obviously been doing music then for quite a while, in some capacity.
Yeah.
What was it that drew you to Musicalkillah Records and to pursue this particular avenue?
I've always dreamt about having a circle of friends around me who believes in me and has skills themselves and the passion and shares the same vision, so we can, you know, grow together. The answer is a musical family, a record label. When me and PsyRo first met, and we created, you know, the WhatsApp group Musicalkillah Records, because before, for quite a long time, I would call myself, or just title my musical videos under Musicalkillah. Why not Musicalkillah Records? And we looked into the music industry, and especially these days, it's a lot of artists doesn't quite need record labels. And after us as as a circle, as a group, talking to each other, we all want a similar thing of the same, and that's, you know, it's rather than just growing as an individual, as an artist. If we have a label, we can grow as that, whatever Saint makes or does, or PsyRo or whatever, you know, a percent of that goes into MKR. We allow MKR to grow with the artists involved. Of course, with money there's power, and once we get out there, we would love to, you know, travel the world and start helping people in need, you know, going to different countries where poverty is and bring happiness to them through music, because music's a universal language, speaks in all languages, you know.
Basically, we were trying to release last year. Most of the team thought that it'd be a good idea because our music is so potent and so relevant at these times with everything that's going on around the world, all this craziness. Everybody's like, we're ready, let's do it, let's drop the album, let's drop a few songs, at least a couple of singles, because we're ready. I'm the one that's holding the whole process back because I think that preparation and first impression is everything. If we lose the first impression by the songs not being fully done, no music videos to it, just the tracks, it'll be just like another underground one instead of getting out there and being in people's face. And the whole thing behind it is trying to get people, once we release, to get motivated by the positive message. And once we motivate people and show people that actually you don't have to talk about the negative things that you're talking about in your tracks, and you can actually talk about positive message and still be successful, but you're actually connecting with your audience on a deeper level and bringing them feelings. That's the whole goal. That's why I'm making music, to touch people's hearts with it, touch people's soul where they think for a second, am I doing the right things by doing this and this and this?
We just want to change the world. That's where I have a saying, change the world or be changed by the world. Your thoughts become your reality, you become what you think about. So why not implement that, you know?
That's great. Yeah, I think it's a very positive reason to start something like this.
That's it. That's why with the music itself, with the lyrics, it's when you actually listen to the lyrics itself, I mean, it might take the listeners 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 times to actually listen to it before they, oh, I didn't get that metaphor before, but now, you know, it's quite a positive message, you know.
You don't have to follow the formula that's being presented to us by the mainstream, by the big major labels that are holding the keys. There's no more keys and gates. We got the internet. Everything is so much easier to connect with people these days. It's not like 10, 15, 20 years ago where you needed to get a record label to get out there. The thing is, with the mainstream, they follow a strict formula that's been working for years and years. And everybody's scared to change and put out the full message. So everybody's here and there, they shoot a little subliminal message here and there, but they don't get fully on it because we know this formula works and we're comfortable here because it can make money.
Yeah, so it's about showing people that there are other ways to be successful.
There's other ways where you're actually lifting people up with a message of your music.
What would you say then that you're doing differently as part of Musicalkillah Records to try and kind of innovate and kind of make a statement? What is it that you're pushing in that area?
Best way to answer that, I feel, is for a long time, I've been hugely motivated and interested with ancient history, ancient philosophy, religion, politics. And because, you know, I'll go to work in my everyday job as an engineer. I'll come home 5 o'clock on the evening. At least for 10 years, I've been doing this. And straight away on the computer, researching as much knowledge as I possibly can. and I then implement that into music. So whatever is going on around me at the time, I will deeply look into those kind of things. A couple of weeks later, I have a lot of knowledge on those things. So what better way to metaphorically put those messages into a song, so then I can spread that time and effort that I have used in my own spare free time to learn these things, to allow other people to learn them without them even using up their own time, other than using up their time to listen and go out their way to listen to our music, you know?
Is it going to be difficult, do you think, to sort of change the mindsets of people and make them see this music as just as good as mainstream, if not, well, better, really? It's spreading a better message, but do you think there's going to be any kind of difficulties there trying to get that across to a mass audience?
Yeah, this is how I look at it. Most people that are looking for this type of different music cannot get this type of music. What they're getting is mainstream, which is only one-sided, mostly talking about the same thing, and then you get underground. But underground, some of it is not at the point where you can bring it to mainstream. My whole goal is behind it is making beats that sound mainstream, but are totally different. And this is why I'm putting together a couple of different genres into one beat so we can reach different type of people. Because they're like, oh, I like this type of sound, I like this type of sound. I'm infusing everything together. And with Saint on top of it, it's gonna blow out of the